It's eclipse season, everybody. It is October 13th, 2023, and tomorrow we have a solar eclipse that is visible in much of the western part of the United States. So let's go ahead and break this down. The first thing I want to do is just give you a quick look at where the eclipse is happening. So let's take a quick peek at the map of the United States, and you can see here tomorrow morning about 9-ish, I would say. If you're in the western part of the United States, we see at 9:20. We have the solar eclipse is going through Oregon, so you'll be able to see part of it in the Seattle area. That is, of course, if you have sunshine and clear skies. And it's passing through Nevada, Utah, the very corner of Arizona and Utah, through New Mexico and Texas and down. So that's the path where the eclipse is going to be taking place. So let me just very quickly pull up what I need, my notes. All right, so here we go. We have the moon, which passes between the sun and the earth during a solar eclipse, so that a shadow is cast on the earth, and it either partially or fully blocks the sun's light. And tomorrow in the morning, I know I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and we will have about an 85% cast of light. So it will not be fully, it'll be a partial. Now, what does this mean, like solar eclipse? The ancients, actually in the ancient cultures, they actually saw solar eclipses as supernatural apparitions, and often they were feared. So, I was doing a little bit of research, and in ancient China, they saw this as a celestial dragon that devoured the sun. So this goes back like 4,000 years at least. And to save the sun, they would bang on drums and make noise to scare off the dragon. So of course, we understand what solar eclipses are and that they're on a very regular cycle. And spiritually or symbolically, the meaning of a solar eclipse is because this is a time period where there is temporary darkness. Again, you've got the sun shining, and imagine that the moon is passing in front of it, that you get this shadow that is cast on the earth. And this is really a signal to be a time of introspection and reflection. So just for your information, where exactly can you see this eclipse? It's going to be in Seattle. Seattle, it will be a partial solar eclipse, because I know I do have people who watch me from Seattle. And in Tucson, where I'm located, again, it's another partial eclipse, maybe around 9 a.m. We will be able to see its full totality, or partial totality, sorry about that, at 9:33. In Seattle, it'd be closer to 9:20. I hope you guys have clear skies so that you can see it. And of course, it will exit the continental United States when it reaches Texas at about 11:40-ish, and maybe it'll be gone about 12 noon. So get out there a little bit earlier so you can get yourself positioned. And of course, protect your eyes. Do not look directly at the sun. You can Google how to make a pinhole projector with really simple household items, just things like a toilet tissue tube. You can use like a shoebox and aluminum foil and paper. So really simple items. So just go ahead and look that up if you want to go ahead and view it safely. This solar eclipse is actually a new moon in Libra. And this begs the question symbolically, what needs to be balanced in your life? Because of course, Libra is about balance. Libra is a cardinal sign ruled by Venus. And Libra is most often associated with justice, fairness, peace, beauty, and of course, balance. Mercury, the messenger god, is showing up alongside the sun and the moon. So Mercury is in the mix. And this would indicate to me that this is both an intuitive as well as an emotional time, and that words, things that people say, messages, are going to strike a chord with us and carry an emotional weight at this particular time. Now, Libra's polarity point is Aries, which represents the balance between your personal power and selfhood versus a focus on right relations. So, of course, during this time, we may find ourselves really reflecting upon harmonious relationships between like how much time and energy we're spending in the relationship sphere, like how much time and energy you're putting towards your partner and the relationship itself versus how much time you're spending on your own, like living and creating your own individual affairs. So that's this particular time period, is there's a focus on that aspect of our lives. Now we have Chiron, the Centaur, and North Node in Aries that are in opposition to this solar eclipse. And on a personal note, the signatures in the chart may indicate that you may feel a sense of fear around being self-assertive at this particular time, and that it's really time to muster as much courage as you can to take a step forward. And of course, I would do this after this self-reflective time period. However long feels right for you, always follow your own intuition. Now, if you put your partner's needs first, this is a time to think about balancing with your own needs. This eclipse period is asking you to learn the lessons of surrender, about finding balance between the two. This is, again, the lesson of myself versus the we of the partnership that you're in. I always think of relationships as kind of a tripod or a triangle that you have. It takes two individuals to make the third piece, which is the relationship itself. And that a good relationship actually has a balance of both the I and the we. So that's what we're striving for. And the last point that I want to make about this eclipse chart is that this eclipse is pretty intense. The eclipse point is actually in hard aspect to Pluto, which is the planet of power and transformation. And since solar eclipses are about endings and letting things go, you may see dramatic turns of events during this particular time period. And Mars also just entered Scorpio a couple of days ago on the 11th. And Mars is the planet of action, passion. It's a pioneering spirit. It has initiative about it, and initiation, like starting things. As well as on the kind of flip side, it also can be about accidents and recklessness. And it happens to have just entered the sign of Scorpio, which is about secrets and privacy. It's obsession. Think of Scorpio as it's going deep, like it doesn't like superficial things. It wants to go deep, and it also has a tinge of power in it as well. So this is pretty intense. And there's a lot of planets that are still going that are in retrograde motion at this point, where one by one, they're starting to move forward. So by the first of the year, most of the outer planets, if not all, will be direct. And this will be the time to move forward fully. Now, just a little heads up. Eclipse energy can last around 6 months. Generally, it starts to come in, we start to feel it about a month in advance before the eclipse time. And then we'll feel it several months after the eclipse date. So, and don't forget, the eclipses always run in pairs. So we have a lunar eclipse coming on October 28th in Taurus. And if you do go to view the eclipse, this will be the last visible eclipse in my region in Arizona until 2071. So please make sure that if you do want to take a peek at it, or at least watch the shadow up against the concrete or sidewalk or your house or whatever, please get outside in the morning and do so. So if you like this information, please like my post, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is brand new. And as always, keep your feet on the ground, be fully grounded, but always your face to the sky, and be fully embodied in your experiences, and never forget to look up and remember who and what you are. Anyway, thank you so much. Next time.